the word. So, say no. 6 years. Are you listening? That's good. So, remember to say no because you will need the information later. And when Brianna finishes, you will tell her what you have been preparing. All right?
Yeah, my name's Brianna. So I recognize most everyone's faces, a couple that happen in the United States. So the different culture, the food, and the events that happen in the U.S. So if you have any, we'll save questions for after, but if there's any words that you don't know or vocabulary, you can raise your hand during the presentation and ask me. Okay? So I'm sure you all have heard of Halloween, right? Yeah? It's kind of, you don't really celebrate Halloween here, do you? Not really? No. I haven't ever heard of it being celebrated here, except for maybe by some Americans that are studying abroad here. So Halloween, we don't really know where Halloween originated from. Some people think it started with an ancient festival where people would light fires and wear costumes. You know what costumes are? Like strange clothes to get like ghosts to go away. So obviously it has evolved, it has changed a lot since then. And so now it's more of a community event where families and children come together and play games and do all sorts of different activities, especially with younger kids. Not so much once you get into this a lot of the time, different like witch hats and fairy costumes, pumpkins we like to carve the pumpkins, so we will spend the night usually with our families and carve the pumpkins and make like faces or designs, cool designs on them. We also like doing haunted houses, so a lot of people will turn their houses into something very scary, so they will decorate it and make sort of a display of different scary a national day of Thanksgiving to remember our American history. So the first Thanksgiving was celebrated between the Pilgrims, who were the people that first came to the United States, and then Native Americans, who were native, so who had already been in the United States already. So there was 53 Pilgrims and then 90 Native Americans that had this harvest, so a feast basically, like a dinner. So we now will have a day every year with our families where we have turkey and huge dinners with mashed potatoes and fruit and salad and lots of really, really good food. Usually you don't eat all day, you are just cooking all day, and then you'll eat maybe around...
In 1 minute.
What's that?
You cook the whole day and then you eat in 1 minute.
Yeah. Maybe you'll eat at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then sleep, or watch football, American football. That's a very common tradition. Another very common holiday is the 4th of July. I'm sure you all have heard of our Independence Day, so it's on the 4th of July. I think yours was on the 9th of July, so very close. But for us, it's during our summer. So, does anyone know what year our Independence Day was? 1776. So was the year of our Independence Day. So when the United States became a country, so that's why we celebrate, just as you all do here. So this is a really fun holiday because it happens during our summer. So we like to get together with our families, and my family, we would always go camping and have fireworks, like that's like in this picture. And it's very common to do barbecues, which is kind of like the American version of asado, but we have, the meat isn't as good as asado, but we have hot dogs, so panchos, and like hamburgers and chips, like lemonade usually. So we will have, all families will come together and make a big barbecue, is what we call it.
We have a gala dinner, and before that we make cultural parades, music and artistic contests, like the biggest apple and the heaviest apple. And finally, the gala dinner, we make the crowning queen of apples.
Okay, very good. Very good, very good. Who else? You?
I'm going to talk about the National Day of the Sun. The National Day of the Sun is an annual celebration of nature that takes place in the city of San Juan, Argentina. The festival lasts from the end of February to the beginning of March. This festival ends with the crowning of the National Queen of the Sun.
I guess so.
The Carousel of the Sun is a very famous parade, in which the Department of the Province presents the floats decorated with long capes, legends, costumes, and characters of each region.
Each what?
Region.
Oh, each region.
Region.
Yes.
And this event is followed by nearly 1,100 people.
Very good, very good. Any other festival? Another one there. There, you boys. Marcelo, Sandy. What are you going to talk about? Franco? Me.
I am going to tell all the festival of the Terneros. It is celebrated in Ayacucho. Where is Ayacucho?
In the province of Buenos Aires.
Ayacucho is in the province of Buenos Aires. And the festival of the Terneros first was a rural.
But you have to explain what a ternero is.
Asado, barbecue.
No, this is what comes after. Before is another thing.
That is the end of the ternero.
Yes, that's the end of the ternero.
Ternero is an animal. At first, it was a rural activity. How do you say that? They hunt the ternero. But then it started to be celebrated. So the festival is very beautiful because you can taste the asado, you can dance, enjoy the music, all the things in Argentina.
Sorry, Franco. The ternero is the cow's
Pam.
baby.
What? Oh,
Cow's
That's the
baby.
Okay.
Cow's baby.
Okay.
All right. There.
I did not know.
Your festival. Malena, Dean. What are you going to talk about? Come on, Malena.
I'm going to tell you about Pachamama Festival. It starts on 1st of August and takes place in the north of Argentina. For example, Salta or Tucumán. But in Tucumán, this festival is celebrated in February, during the carnival. The people thank to the Mother Earth for the vegetables, fruits and animals.
Good. What was it called?
Pachamama.
Pachamama, because Pachamama means motherland, Mother Earth.
It's in Quechua, the north of the country.
Yes.
It's a god. It's a god.
Yes, Pachamama
Yes.
is the word in Quechua is the language, I think,
Yes.
right?
Very colorful.
Yes, it's very famous in Jujuy, Salta, and Tucumán,
Okay.
right?
Great.
Camila and Andrea.
She wants to say something.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Each family make their pacheta with a lot of rocks with form of pyramid where the people put cigarettes, wine that represent their fishes. The people celebrate with typical food and wine, and the citizens choose the oldest woman who represents the Pachamama.
Cool.
There, girls?
We serve the same festival of Alexander.
As Alexander. Okay, tell us about, perhaps you have something different.
The National Day of the Sun is an annual celebration of nature that takes place in the city of San Juan and other locations in the San Juan province, Argentina, usually during the month of February. It gives a same itinerary of economic activities, customs, charters, and historical events of the province. It also highlights include a beautiful contest which elects the national queen of the sun and the sun Brianna. And that's
All right, thank you. Boys?
I'm going to talk about the Bear National Festival.
The beer.
Beer.
The Bear National Festival is a popular festival in Villa General Belgrano, Córdoba. The festival takes place the first Saturday of October to the second Saturday of October. The Bear Festival is an Argentinian version of the Oktoberfest from Munich, Germany. The festival begins with the crowning of the Bear Festival Queen and a parade. There are colorful floats, people dancing and orchestra. The most important moment of the festival is when people introduce a barrel of beer and the queen shares beer to the people. Every day of this week, when the barrel is open again, the festival starts again too. Actually, this fest is the most important Oktoberfest in America. This festival was created in 1960 in Córdoba by the first German immigrant.
All right, thank you very much. I think these are the most important festivals in Argentina. Mabel, I don't know if your students want to ask something, or to say something.
I like this one.